Have you ever watched a football match and suddenly found yourself asking, how did he score that? Not because it was a spectacular long-range strike or a brilliant free kick, but because the ball looked completely out of reach. For almost every striker in the world, the chance was already gone. Yet somehow, Erling Haaland still found a way to turn it into a goal. At first, most people had a simple explanation. They said he had incredible finishing, perfect positioning, or outstanding instincts inside the penalty area. Those qualities are certainly part of the story. But the more matches you watch, the more you begin to realize that those explanations don't fully answer what you're seeing on the pitch. Think about it for a moment. Defenders know exactly where Haaland wants to run. Coaches spend days preparing to stop him. Goalkeepers expect the cross, and center-backs try to block every possible angle. Even when everything seems to be under control, Haaland somehow arrives a split second earlier and reaches balls that look physically impossible to reach. That is why this story is so fascinating. The real mystery isn't simply that Erling Haaland scores a lot of goals. The mystery is how he scores so many of them. Again and again, he stretches farther, reacts quicker, and finishes chances that most elite strikers would never even touch. So, is it just world-class technique? Is it years of training? Or is there something genuinely different about the way Haaland's body is built, and the way it works under pressure? Because once you understand the answer, you'll never watch one of his goals the same way again. Before we uncover the science behind his extraordinary finishing, we first need to look at the moments that made football fans around the world stop the replay, watch it again, and ask the exact same question, the goals that don't make sense. To understand why people believe Erling Haaland is different, we first have to look at the goals that made football fans question what they had just seen. These weren't ordinary tap-ins or routine finishes. They were the kind of goals that forced commentators to replay the moment again and again because the first viewing simply didn't seem real. One moment, Haaland would be standing behind two defenders with almost no space to attack. The next, he would somehow stretch a leg around them, connect with the ball, and send it into the net. Sometimes the cross looked slightly behind him. Other times, it was too high or too far in front. Yet somehow, he still managed to reach it before anyone else. What makes these finishes so unusual is that most strikers would never even attempt them. Their first instinct would be to let the ball go or prepare for the next attack. Haaland does the opposite. He attacks every cross, every rebound, and every loose ball as if he believes there is always a way to score. That mentality allows him to create chances where other forwards see none. If you watch enough of his goals, a clear pattern begins to appear. Many of them don't come from perfect passes. In fact, some of his most famous finishes happen because he adjusts his body in ways that seem almost unnatural. A last-second stretch, a quick change of direction, or an awkward touch somehow becomes the winning goal. That is why defenders often look confused after conceding against him. They don't always make mistakes. Sometimes they do everything correctly, yet Haaland still finds a solution. And that raises an even bigger question. How can one player repeatedly reach balls that so many other elite strikers simply cannot? When people look at Erling Haaland, the first thing they usually notice is his size. Standing at around 1.94 meters, or 6 feet 4 inches, he already has a physical advantage over most defenders. But if height were the only reason for his success, football would be full of strikers scoring the same kinds of goals. Clearly, something else is happening. What makes Haaland so unusual is the way his body combines qualities that rarely exist together. He has the frame of a traditional target man, yet he can accelerate like a much smaller forward. He is powerful enough to hold off defenders, but at the same time, he can change direction quickly and attack space before anyone else reacts. That combination is extremely rare in professional football. Part of that athletic foundation comes from his background. Haaland grew up in a sporting family, with his father, Alf Inge Haaland, playing at the highest level of English football. From a young age, Erling developed strength, coordination, and movement through years of training. As he progressed, those natural advantages were refined rather than simply relied upon. Sports scientists often point out that elite athletes are not defined by one physical quality alone. Success comes from how speed, balance, coordination, timing, and power work together. That is exactly what makes Haaland so difficult to stop. His body allows him to perform movements at full speed while staying balanced enough to finish chances that would be impossible for most players. So, although hard work has played a huge role in his rise, it is the combination of natural physical gifts and relentless training that makes him so unique. And once the match begins, those advantages become even more dangerous. Because having an extraordinary body is one thing, knowing exactly how to use it against defenders is something completely different. By this point, we know that Erling Haaland is faster, stronger, and more explosive than most strikers. But if football were only about physical strength, defenders would have already found a way to stop him. The real reason Haaland remains so dangerous has very little to do with muscles alone. It begins long before the ball reaches his feet. One of Haaland's greatest weapons is his movement without the ball. He rarely stands in one position waiting for a pass. Instead, he constantly changes his angle, drifts away from defenders, and attacks the smallest pockets of space. Those movements force defenders to make split-second decisions, and even one moment of hesitation is enough for Haaland to gain the advantage. He is also exceptional at reading the game before everyone else. While defenders are focused on the player with the ball, Haaland is already predicting where the cross, pass, or rebound is likely to go. That is why he often arrives exactly where the ball lands. To many fans, it looks like perfect timing. In reality, it is the result of outstanding football intelligence. Another reason defenders struggle against him is his commitment. Haaland never assumes a chance is lost. If a cross looks slightly overhit or a loose ball appears out of reach, he still attacks it with complete confidence. Most defenders expect the play to end. Haaland expects an opportunity. That difference in mentality allows him to score goals that others would never even attempt. Perhaps that is why even the best defenders in Europe continue having problems against him. They know his strengths, they study his runs, and they prepare for him before every match. Yet once the whistle blows, Haaland still finds a way to appear in the right place at the perfect moment. And when a striker combines elite intelligence with extraordinary physical ability, stopping him becomes one of the hardest tasks in football. By now, it should be clear that Erling Haaland's goals are not the result of luck, but his physical strength is only part of the story. The real difference appears in the final seconds before he strikes the ball. That is where his timing, body control, and quick reactions separate him from almost every other striker in world football. Watch his goals closely, and you'll notice something unusual. Haaland rarely waits for the perfect pass. Instead, he adjusts to whatever arrives. If the cross is slightly behind him, he twists his body. If it comes too high, he changes his stride. If the ball takes an unexpected bounce, he reacts almost instantly. Those tiny adjustments happen in fractions of a second, giving defenders almost no time to respond. Another reason his finishes look so unusual is the way he attacks the ball instead of waiting for it. Many forwards allow the cross to reach them first. Haaland often moves toward the ball with complete commitment, stretching every muscle to make contact. That extra reach can be the difference between missing the chance and scoring the goal, especially inside a crowded penalty area. His first touch also plays a huge role. Whether he uses his left foot, right foot, knee, chest, or even an awkward stretch, his only objective is to guide the ball toward goal as quickly as possible. He doesn't always score the beautiful goal. He scores the effective one. That simple mindset explains why so many of his finishes look strange, but still end with the net moving. Perhaps that is the biggest secret behind Erling Haaland's so-called impossible finishing. He doesn't try to make difficult goals look spectacular. He makes them look inevitable. And once you combine that mentality with his extraordinary physical ability, you begin to understand why even the best defenders in the world struggle to stop him year after year. At this point, it's easy to say that Erling Haaland is simply a great athlete. But sports scientists believe there is much more happening beneath the surface. His success isn't built on one physical advantage. It's the result of several elite qualities working together at exactly the right moment. One of Haaland's biggest strengths is his explosive acceleration. Despite his height and powerful build, he can reach top speed in just a few steps. That allows him to attack space before defenders have time to react. In football, arriving half a second earlier can be the difference between scoring a goal and never touching the ball at all. His coordination is just as impressive. Changing direction at high speed is difficult for any player, especially someone with such a large frame. Yet Haaland manages to stay balanced while stretching, jumping, or adjusting his body in awkward positions. That balance helps him remain in control even when the finish looks chaotic to everyone watching. Experts also point to his recovery and conditioning. Haaland takes his fitness seriously, focusing on strength, mobility, recovery, and nutrition throughout the season. Those habits help him maintain the same intensity from the opening whistle to the final minutes. It's one of the reasons he continues making explosive runs long after defenders begin to tire. When you put everything together, the picture becomes much clearer. His height gives him reach. His speed helps him arrive first. His coordination allows him to control impossible situations. And his dedication keeps those qualities performing at the highest level. That is why Erling Haaland isn't just another prolific goal scorer. He is a striker whose body has been developed to perform in ways that very few footballers ever can. After looking at the way Erling Haaland plays, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. He has never been interested in waiting for the perfect chance. While many strikers prefer comfortable finishes, Haaland attacks every opportunity as if it could be the only one he gets. That mindset is what separates him from so many other goal scorers. Inside the penalty area, he doesn't stop moving for a single second. He constantly changes direction, pulls defenders out of position, and looks for even the smallest opening. Most players react after the ball is played. Haaland is already moving before the pass arrives, which is why he often reaches spaces that seem impossible for anyone else. There is also a mentality behind his finishing that statistics cannot fully explain. Haaland doesn't care whether a goal looks beautiful or awkward. If he has to stretch, slide, jump, or twist his body to make contact with the ball, he will do it without hesitation. His only objective is simple: find a way to score, no matter how unusual the finish looks. That relentless approach has become one of his greatest strengths. Defenders know he will chase every loose ball until the final moment, and goalkeepers can never assume a chance is over. Even when a cross appears slightly over it, or a rebound looks out of reach, Haaland still believes he can get there. More often than not, he proves himself right. Perhaps that is the real reason normal goals were never enough for Erling Haaland. He doesn't wait for football to give him easy opportunities. He creates his own by combining elite movement, extraordinary physical ability, and an obsession with scoring. And that is why so many of his goals leave fans asking the same question every single time. How did he do that? So, was Erling Haaland simply born with extraordinary physical gifts? Partly, yes. But after everything we've explored today, it's clear that talent alone doesn't explain his success. His movement, timing, discipline, and relentless desire to attack every single ball are what turn those physical advantages into goals that leave millions of fans speechless. Perhaps that's why so many of his finishes don't look normal. They aren't created by luck or coincidence. They are the result of a player who has trained his body and mind to do things that most strikers simply can't. And that is exactly why Erling Haaland has become one of the most feared goal scorers in world football. Now it's your turn. Do you think Erling Haaland is the most physically unique striker football has ever seen? Or is there another player who deserves that title? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next football story. Share this video with a friend who loves football, and I'll see you in the next one.